All right, so now that the interior is all put back together, cleaned up, we're going to move on. We're going to stay true to what we've been doing, stay true to the plan, and just keep trying to get the ugly out. So we're going to move on to the outside of it, and some of you guys might get on to me for this, but I went ahead and decided to go ahead and fix the dents in these doors. I know some of you are thinking, whoa, hey, quit while you're ahead. You're putting too much into this deal. But look, I could fix that for about $100 and probably about maybe 2.5 hours tops of my time, and potentially put maybe $500 worth of value back into this car. That's the only thing wrong with the body of it. The rest of the body's nice and straight and looks just fine. It's just got this one little area here. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it, you know? I mean, you know, I'm not trying to brag on myself or anything like that, but I got, you know, good experience in the paint and body shop. You know, I was a certified auto collision technician for over a decade, and I was a certified PPG auto refinisher for years. And it just seems stupid to have that skill set and not use it, especially in this environment. I mean, if you're going to flip cars and you can do paint and body work, dude, you're ahead of the game, man. That's one of the most expensive things to try to pay for. In fact, if I had to pay somebody to do this, it'd be a no-go. It'd be a deal breaker. There'd be no way to make any money on it at that point. And that's, you know, I would understand, you know, if you're not a guy that can do this, then sure, leave it alone. Don't pay nobody because it's going to kill your profit. You won't make anything after that. So I understand that. But as for me personally, I can knock this out a couple of hours, $100 in materials, if that. And like I said, put like $500 into this thing. So I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to knock it out. There's no sense in, you know, sitting around debating about it. You guys feel free to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But I'm doing it. So here we go. We're going to need to start it off by taking this little rubber piece off. It's got a little clip inside of here. I'll get all that out of the way. And probably pull this piece of trim off while I'm at it. And we're going to get in here with a stud gun and pull some of that out before we start putting filler in. All right, so we got the rubber piece out of the way. Let's see if we can get this piece of trim off of here without tearing it up. That would be nice. All right, I got my eraser wheel here. This just goes on the end of my drill. Every time I put this in a video, I got people asking about it, so there it is. These cost about 20 bucks, and they usually come with the little arbor here. Pretty cool little setup. This thing just goes right on here. You give it a little twist and that's it. It's on there, locked in. We're gonna take and work these areas down here to bare metal, because that's the only way our filler is gonna stick. And also, before we even do filler work, we gotta get our stud gun in there and pull out all these dents, get these low spots out. And then after that, we can go in and put our filler. But nothing's gonna stick unless you hit it with this first, get it all down to bare metal. So that's what we're gonna do right now. All right, so any of you new guys that's not sure how this works, that's fine, that's no problem. We'll take a second to show you guys. All you're gonna do is just take the stud. You wanna stick it inside of there just like that. All right, so we're gonna take the stud and we're gonna put it right in our deepest area here. The biggest part of the dent is gonna be like right here. It's knocked in pretty good. So let's get in there, weld one of these tabs on here. Just like that. I mean, it literally takes just a second or two, and it's on there. We're gonna kind of fill this area up with a few of these in all the right places. And then we'll start pulling. Show you the puller that I prefer best. It's this one here. This is just a homemade puller. Man, I probably made this 15 years ago. It works awesome. You could buy these already made, I suppose. Probably cost you about 25, 30 bucks. You probably get a cheap one somewhere, I don't know. But hell, why not? If you already got everything, why not just weld it together and make yourself something, save yourself some money, why not? This is pretty cool because it's just gonna clamp right on here. Just like that. Pretty simple, pretty easy. We'll move to the next one. Like I said before, we're just gonna do a little at a time till we get it out where we want it. All right, there you have it. The dents are out. Look at that. We've got the metal pulled out where it needs to be. All the way down. That one popped out really nice. And that's cool because it actually relieved a lot of stress and made the area a lot nicer. You guys, literally, that took like 5 minutes. I don't understand why people skip some of this stuff, you know. I mean, most guys, I've seen a lot of guys that'll just go in there and just smear mud all in that, sand it down and send it, and then, you know, 6 months down the line, all that stuff's cracking out because it won't, you know, it won't do well if it's more than 1/4 of an inch thick. And any good body man, he won't go anywhere near 1/4 inch thick. I mean, 1/8 inch top. We want a skim coat. That's all we want. We don't want to put a bunch of mud on there. So anyway, there you have it. 5 minutes, dents are out. We're gonna cut all these off first, get those out of the way, and then we'll grind them down, make them all nice and smooth, and then we will come in and we will feather around the edge with 80 grit around all these edges, and then we will start putting our mud in there, our filler. These things cut off pretty easy. All right, so now we're just gonna get in here with our grinder. This is our 3-inch angle grinder with our, what was that, 24 grit disc on it. That's gonna work this down real nice. All right, check it out, you guys. We're gonna feather around the bodywork here. We're gonna use our DA. This is 80 grit sandpaper disc. We're gonna go around the edges like we talked about earlier. We wanna get all the way around this bodywork, okay? This is the mud we're gonna use, the filler. This belongs to my boy. Most of you guys probably know him as Low Love Life on YouTube. Go check his channel out. I'll leave a link in the description. And I'll leave a little card somewhere up top there you guys can click on, take you straight to his channel. Please subscribe to him, you guys. Hit the notification bell. He just got monetized. I want to say congratulations. That is a big thing, man. You're doing these YouTube channels. It's a lot of work doing YouTube. Some of you guys don't even know. As soon as you throw YouTube in the mix, the job takes twice as long, but we do it for you guys. We enjoy making the videos, and getting monetized is definitely a good thing. It helps bring the channel to another level. It helps buy parts. It helps buy equipment, cameras, mics, editing software, whatever. You know, it all costs money, so it's really nice to get monetized for YouTube. So congratulations to Matthew. I'm gonna steal some of your mud, dude. You take my stuff all the time, so nice. That's gonna spread on there really good, man. Got our hardener here. You wanna kind of roll that in your hand a little bit. Mix it all up. On a warm day like today, it's about 85 degrees here in Oklahoma. This is gonna go quick. I'm gonna get in there and mix that stuff up really good. Make sure you get all the air out of it. Don't want pinholes. Air causes pinholes. All right, here we go. Let's get it on the car now. We've only got a few minutes to work with it. This stuff will kick here in probably about 1.5 minutes. Now this is that weird kind. It actually changes colors when it's ready to sand, and we'll probably be hitting it before the color change, because like I said, look, it's already starting to go. Yep, I said 1.5 minutes. Well, more like 20 seconds. All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna do what's known as a crosshatch pattern. That's where, you know, you go this way, and then we're gonna go this way now. All right, so now that the filler work is done, we wanna put a light, even coat of glaze over this whole area. But just like before, we wanna get in here and we wanna take our DA with our 80 grit, we want to go all the way around the bodywork area, out past it, okay, with the 80 grit. That way when we put our glaze on, it'll have something to stick to. I'm gonna go right over the edge with it. Remember, we got our tape over there to kind of help us out, so we don't have to worry so much. We'll just peel that tape off here in a minute, and all that excess glaze will come right off with it. This stuff is already starting to tighten up on me. That's okay. Looks like we'll get this whole area here wiped, and that's exactly what we want. We'll worry about that bottom part here in just a minute. Alright guys, there you have it. One dent-free door. Alright, that is ready for primer. We'll scuff the rest of the door down with some Scotch-Brite. That's all it needs. We'll prime in that area. I got another little dent here I'm going to go ahead and fix. I'm not going to bore you guys with all of that. And I even got a couple little dings here I'm going to fix. Those should be just glazable. That's about all I'm going to have to do to those. And when I'm done with those, we'll wrap this thing up and prime them in. Alright, so we got her masked up. You guys laugh if you want to, I don't care. We went with the newspaper. We're only doing this just for the priming. We're going to get this primed in and then we'll pull that paper off. I've got one roll of plastic left and I'm going to save it for when we actually do the paint. So this is just a loose mask just to keep the overspray off of everything. I don't want primer overspray on anything. So we taped off down there where the trim goes and the molding and all that. Tape the handle off for now, but when we do the actual paint, we will pull the handle out and we'll pull the belt moldings off and all of that. So anyway, that's where we're at. Got my glass cleaner, my spray away. I love this stuff. We're going to wipe the panels down with that before we go to the primer. And this stuff works great, man. It really does. All right, there it is all primed in. Now I'm going to take some just regular flat black spray paint here. You want to use flat, you don't want to use gloss. If you use gloss, it'll gum up your sandpaper later. And we're just going to go through and just dust, just randomly just kind of dust that on there, just like that. I'm going to do the whole thing that way. Just kind of powder it on there, sort of. Just like that. I'll do the whole thing like that. And that's it, just that little bit. And that's it, you're done until the primer dries. And then we'll come back and we will block sand all that black back off of there. And when that's all uniform, solid gray, uniform finish, it'll be ready for paint. All right, you guys, so I've been in here working. I did a little bit of work off camera. Sorry, you guys, I didn't mean to leave you out, but I did go ahead and get it all wrapped up. I got all the primer blocked out. She's paint ready. I went ahead and hung my trim back on there just kind of temporarily, just so we could paint it all at the same time. We're gonna probably go out here and just blend out this way a little bit and then try to blend out that way a little bit. If I have to, I'll go back and do the fender, but I don't think I'll have to. I think it'll be good enough. So anyway, she's all wrapped up, ready to go. And hey, if any of you guys want to see any of my, actual bodywork videos where I take you through all the process of fixing a dent, actually step-by-step priming, blocking, things like that, I'll leave a card up top. You guys click on that, it'll take you back to one of my rebuilds. Go check out the Harley truck rebuild, Mustang, whatever. Plenty of body work on those videos. The 350Z is a good one. Got lots of paint and body work on those videos too. So didn't want to bore you guys with the whole process. I've already taken y'all through that several times before. So anyway, we're trying to get this done pretty quick. Sometimes you just got to put the camera down and just get to work. So I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this because we're adding value, but we don't want to, if it ends up being too much time involved, then it won't be worth it. So anyway. All right, so now that our color's all mixed up, let's get in here and get us a tack rag For those of you who don't know, this is nothing more than just a sticky rag. We'll wipe it all over the whole surface. It'll get rid of a lot of the dust and the lint, and then we'll be ready to shoot. All right, guys, here we go. Wish me luck. All right, you guys, so for the first coat, I like to focus on the primered areas and get that covered in first. Once those areas are actually covered in, which you can still see it's kind of bleeding through a little bit, once that's actually covered, then we could go in and start kind of blending it out. So far, that actually matches pretty well. All right, so I went ahead and took that piece of trim out of the way. It just wasn't cooperating. It was falling down and covering up that edge, and we need paint on that edge, so it had to get moved out of the way. That's okay. I've got it sitting right here. We'll just paint it over here instead. So let's get a second coat on there. All right, so that's after the second coat. That's looking pretty nice. Now, at this point, I believe we're covered. I don't believe we have any more gray peeking out. So what we'll do is now we'll go in and kind of work on our blend and get that to kind of blend out. We don't have much room on this end. You guys see where it got a shiny edge and then it's kind of dull. So we're just going to blend just a little bit past that. We'll let it dry, come back, and then we'll buff it all out and it'll all be shiny and it should all tie together. So there it is. There's the end result. I think it looks 100 times better than it did. Just kind of blended it out here. The only thing we're going to have to do is come in and buff out our blends. The actual paint turned out super clean. I can't believe how clean it turned out, considering we just painted it right out here in the open like this. But awesome, man. We won't have to color sand or anything. All we got to do is just buff our blends out. We also blended out the trim piece to match, so this is nice. This turned out very well. We can get it unmasked, pop our handles back in, and we will be done with that. We'll run a buffer over the whole car after that. So after we get our door handles back in, we will go over the entire car with a buffer, tie everything together, make it look nice and shiny. We'll get those headlights straightened out because they're pretty dull and yellow. And that should conclude the outside of this car. Pretty easy. Some of you guys are probably like, Mike, you're putting way too much into this. I understand, but dude, I did that for $100 and a few hours of my time. So you can't tell me that's not good money, you know, good investment. I think I'll get a return on it. All right, y'all, tell me what y'all think. Leave me a comment. You think that was worth doing, or was it a waste of time? I mean, it was the worst part about the whole body of the vehicle. I mean, everything else was pretty decent. Got a little ding here and there, but nothing was smashed in except for those two doors. So I don't know, man. I can't help but think it's a drastic improvement and it's going to help it sell. We'll see, though. All right, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut the video there. I feel like I probably bored you guys enough. Please like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate you guys watching. And don't forget my Instagram. I'll leave a link in the description. And we got some more projects coming down here. I'm working on Randy from Auto Auction Rebuilds. His Cobalt SS is going to be in the shop. We're going to do a little body work to that and send it off to the paint shop to be painted. And we got the Mazda 6. We're going to actually start driving that car and making some improvements to that one, see if we can't save that one. It's got some issues. We're going to see if we can't work them out. So anyway, we've got lots of side projects around here. We'll be getting back on those throughout the summer. You guys don't want to miss those. 1970 Datsun pickup, 1970 GMC pickup. And I got cars littered all around here that we could work on. So stay tuned for some side projects. We'll be getting back on those as well. But hey, I'm out of here. We will see you guys later. Appreciate it.